What's going on, everybody? We are out here with Lady V right now. She wants to do a quick interview in the ICNV gear. We're here at the Chicago Auto Show, and she wanted to ask a couple questions.
How about we start the interview?
We're going to do the interview over here.
All right, so let's get it. Let's get it.
We're at the auto show. We are here with Lady V at the Chicago Auto Show, and she had a couple questions she wanted to ask me, so I'm of course going to oblige and answer her questions so we can talk about the Chicago Auto Show. So what do you have for me?
All right, what's going on, everybody? So I have a few questions. Some going to be rapid fire, some going to be wild cards. So
rapid fire and wild cards, okay.
This we go. Shell, you are the proud owner of ICNV Drivers Edition.
Okay.
What does ICNV mean for all the new followers?
Well, that's a good question because I don't really think about a lot of times that we have new followers. So ICNV Drivers Edition is truly a car enthusiast brand. ICNV stands for Inspired Creativity Needed for Validation, for the people that are driven to enjoy their cars. So that's what the Drivers Edition come in at. So when you look at the cars around us at this auto show, or especially in this exhibit here with the Chi-Town Exotic Car Club, these are cars that have different creative backgrounds and responses, especially the Lamborghini Huracan. As you see, that car has crazy colors together, airbrush and so forth, and that's his creative genes being let loose. There are some people that will say, why did he do this to this car? And think it's, how would I say, a bad decision, while others appreciate the artwork and think it's a bold move. And again, inspired creativity, needless of nobody's validation, because that's his car, he chose to express his creative genes that way. But it also means I see a new vision, and that's his vision.
Okay, okay.
So ICNV, to me, is just the staple point for a true car enthusiast who wants to create their car and have something different than just the same car that everybody can have. ICNV.
I like that. I like that. That was really creative. You guys got that? You caught that? All right. So, what was your first car?
My first car? Ooh. The first car I was driving like mine, or the first car I actually owned?
How about we just say the first car that you were driving like yours, and then the one that you owned?
Okay, the first car I actually had, all my friends that grew up with me called the wood wagon. My parents had a station wagon with wood paneling on it. And literally, that was the first car. Once I got my license, they was like, here's the keys, you can rip and run the city. So I was driving around the Ford LTD. I want to think it was like a 1986, 87 wood wagon, station wagon.
The wood.
But the first car I've actually owned, believe it or not, was back in the box Chevy era. And it was a 1978 Chevy Impala.
Nice.
Yes.
What color was it?
It was brown, but it wasn't really brown. I forgot the actual color they called it, but let's say it's brown.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna come back to that because I think you like brown cars. I think you like the brown. Okay. So, what started your passion for cars, and how did this originate?
My passion for cars, I really don't know where it started at. All I do know is that it existed. So I remember being in the neighborhood growing up, and the older kids, which were technically, let's say, 4 or 5 years older, Brick, Tony, Smokey, Hoagie, all y'all, thank you for that, but they got their first cars, and they used to tinker with their cars all the time. So watching them tinker with their cars only helped me and created a vision of what I want to do with my own car, and then what I want to get, and then how I want to propel from there. Then my uncle got a nice car, and my cousin got a car, and at the end of the day, everybody had a car, so I just feel like it was the thing to do. And then not only that, I think what really did it, now that we're having this conversation, I grew up around street racing.
Ah.
So in my neighborhood on the weekends, they used to come set their cars at like the Fast and Furious.
Drag racing?
And
Do we say
drag race
that?
down the streets. Yes, in the area we used to call Ghost Town. So because they did that, I got to see a lot of customized cars growing up. And that kind of added on to it. And then when my godfather really stepped into my life, he has always been a speed phenom / gotta have this type of car, gotta have a drop top, and he just refined it.
Okay.
So between those two atmospheric things in my life, I think that's how my passion for cars came about, because I saw customized cars every weekend, street racing down the street, and then as I got older and started getting close to getting my own cars, or should I say getting my driver's license, my godfather stepped in and started putting me behind the wheel of some stuff I should never be driving. So that refined it, and that was my introduction.
I love that. Wild card, Dodge Charger, Chevy Camaro.
Dodge Charger, Chevy Camaro. I've owned a Dodge Charger. I never owned a Chevy Camaro, but at this stage of my life, I would say Chevy Camaro because I'm not about that four-door life no more.
Never again. So, another question. Do you consider yourself to be a YouTuber? And what makes your channel different from other channels?
Do I consider myself to be a YouTuber? This is the conversation I have with a lot of my YouTube friends. Is I don't really consider myself a YouTuber. I feel myself more as a person that's just sharing my experience.
Okay.
I used to sell cars. I'm a car enthusiast. I love cars. So it's not hard for me to talk about cars or experiences, things of that nature. But as far as it goes to being a YouTuber, I feel like I don't really follow the basis of most YouTubers, or at least the ones that I think that are very successful. Meaning, I'm not out with either this is the new McLaren. How you doing, Doug? I'm not out talking about the new refined cars and what makes them unique.
Okay.
I'm not out heavily modding cars, and my channel is not focused around building cars to be a high performance monster. It's not about rehabbing a car that was once a nice masterpiece and it broke down, or I found a diamond in the rough, I want to bring it back to life. So when I look at YouTubers, I feel like that's more the theme in the car community, whereas for myself, I'm just more of a person that's sharing experiences, sharing my love for cars and the events of being around cars. So to most, I am a YouTuber, but I don't feel like I am because of how my experience is coming across. What makes my channel different is, as I always say, this is an interactive community. When you join my channel, I say join the community. If you bring up a topic, I'll talk about it. I'll share my knowledge, wisdom, and experience with every topic you bring up. Doesn't also mean it's going to be 100% right, but I can tell you it will never be 100% wrong. So with that being said, is we're just sharing experiences, knowledge, love for cars, and anything that brings us closer in the car community. So that's why I feel my channel is different, because a lot of people don't really like to talk to people. They give you standard answers. I'm gonna give you what I actually thought, know, good, the bad, the ugly.
I like that.
But we part of a community, and if you can't handle, like I tell everybody, criticize me. I can handle constructive criticism. That's how we get better, and that's how we grow.
I agree. I agree. I like that response.
I'd like to take this moment to say thank you to all my military members and veterans, because we all know freedom isn't free, and because of you guys and the sacrifices that your families make, we get to enjoy this life and this thing we call freedom, which we enjoy so much. So a big salute to all my military members, veterans, and family members who make the ultimate sacrifice. If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the ICNV Driver Edition community. This is an interactive community, which means if you hit me up in the comments below or on any one of my social media platforms, I will do my best to respond back. And if the topic is interesting enough, I will make a video on it. So reach out, let's chat. But let's get back to this video.
We are at the 2024 Auto Show.
2024.
2024. How many of these have you attended?
Ooh, that's a good question. Honestly, I can't tell off the top of my head, but what I can sit there and tell you, it's been more than 12.
Okay, okay.
So I've attended more than 12. Technically, let's just be, if I was to guess, I would think I got back out the military 2005, 2006, or 2007 was probably the first time I actually started coming back. And I think if anything, I might have missed 1 or 2 years.
I want to say right now, thank you for your services. We appreciate you, all veterans. We appreciate you, all veterans.
Yes, all
active
veterans,
duty.
active duty and retired. The family members, everybody, we thank you for your decision, your choice to serve. And look, we know freedom isn't free, and it's built off the hard work, the dedication, and the sacrifice that you make, and that goes to the family members as well, because you too have to do a sacrifice for those people to go out and serve. So thank you all. We give you a big salute.
So, thank you. So, rapid fire, real quick.
Fire.
Custom paint jobs or wraps?
Custom paint jobs or wraps? That's a very interesting question. I'm gonna sit there and say this. Let me slow down. I'm not rapid fire for me. I'm gonna say it to you like this. I'm torn. I'm torn because if you're going to create a car for show purposes, I will always say custom paint jobs. Custom paint jobs stand out the most.
Okay.
But there are wraps that look like custom paint jobs. But I feel like if you're going to drive the car, don't do the custom paint job, get a wrap. Because preserving that paint job, to get the custom paint job is going to cost you one part. Then you have to go around and put either some clear coat on it, or should I say a clear wrap. And once you do that, you get another cost. That's like an extra $4 or $5 grand. So you're better off just wrapping the car from Jump Street. And then when you decide not to drive it every day, or if it's not going to be a driver, not going to say a daily driver, but if it's not going to be a driver, then go ahead and custom paint it, take it to shows. It'll stand out the most. But you can get wrap jobs that look like custom paint jobs that will make some people not uncertain. So it just depends on the purpose of the car.
You torn.
I'm torn.
Got it. He's torn, ladies and gentlemen. He's torn.
I like more custom paint jobs, just to be real with you, but I'm just trying to be or say the right thing, whereas I like custom paint jobs. You can never go wrong with a custom paint job, but it's so much cost friendly to wrap a car.
Okay, I understand. So, out of all the auto shows that you've attended, which one was your favorite?
Which one was my favorite? That's a tough one, but I can sit there and say to you right now, the one that always stands out to me is the auto show where they had the Chrysler Imperial.
Oh, okay.
So that's a car I wish Chrysler would have made, and that's the auto show I always remember the most. I believe they introduced the prototype for the Acura NSX the same year, but that auto show stands out the most to me. Now, I would say as far as events and things to do as a family, what stands out the most to me is the year, wow, that's a long time ago, I think 2007, they brought the prototype for the Camaro.
Okay.
It was just so much stuff to do. We made Kia videos, it was just so much to do. I can't even go back down that memory lane. So, and you said what was my worst?
Let's do it. What was your least?
My least favorite auto show, I hate to say it, is this one.
Oh.
And don't get me wrong, I feel like this auto show has been more about the vendors. They have made this auto show.
Okay.
But the participation from all the known brands, there is no Mercedes here, there is no Cadillac here, there is no Jaguar, Lincoln. So it's pretty much watering down the experience of what the auto show has been.
Okay.
Range Rover's not here. You understand what I'm trying to say? So there's a lot of luxury brands I wish that were present to showcase their work.
Understood.
And when you don't do that to the public, but want the public to spend their money on your cars, I feel like that's an insult.
It's a disservice.
Yeah.
Understood. All right. So, out of
no Jeep, no Chrysler, no God.
I mean, exactly. You said you can keep going. So, what are your thoughts about the future of the car industry?
The future of the car industry has me, how can I say, partially excited and then partially like, what are we doing? I'll say that to you because every decision isn't the right decision, and we can also make changes from decisions that we make. But to be quite honest with you, we're headed down the road to a push for all electric vehicles. I don't believe that is the answer. I don't think we can actually sustain that. But it's okay to say we need to get closer to being green and taking another stance, or realizing that what we want to do isn't the right stance. It's all right to say you made a mistake. You know what I'm
we
saying?
messed up.
But I'm not going to sit there and say 100% gas engine is the way to go too, because maybe we need to condense down to maybe 6 cylinders or smaller. And I like the performance. I'm in this space where I like supercars, and there's nothing super about a 4-cylinder engine to me. But and although the electric cars give you the performance 0 to 60 times that are like 2 seconds, and all this power you can get from the electric motors and instant torque and so forth, but at the end of the day, you miss the heart and soul of the car, which is the exhaust note, the engine revs, and to me, that makes the experience so much better.
Understood.
So, I'm intrigued by what we're going to see as far as performance comes out of these electric cars, but I don't feel like it's the same thing I grew up on, where there's a life or a soul of a car which is built around the engine.
So then, can I ask you then, hybrid or electric?
Hybrid or electric? I think I just kind of answered that.
You did, but
I'm going to say this to you. Electric cars and what electric cars bring is impressive. But every climate can't handle the true value of electric car. I have a hybrid car. I like hybrid option better because when the weather got cold, it dropped below 0. My hybrid car normally gets 600 miles to a tank. I was barely getting over 510 to 490 in that range whenever I filled it up. The gas engine itself would have gotten probably about 200 and some miles. So the electric aspect extends that range. When it's a hybrid, it works it out quite amazing. But like I said, when it's all electric and you got to worry about charging stations, I just feel like the range isn't there.
Okay.
And the hybrid gives you more range with less fuel consumption. So I think it's kind of the combination of the best of both worlds. And I think it's something that probably should be explored more before they just throw it away or give up on it.
All right, you heard it here. One last rapid fire. White vehicles or red vehicles?
White vehicles or red vehicles? It's a 2-part question. White vehicles, to me, no luxury car looks better than a white car that's clean.
Okay.
But when you're looking at sport cars, I think a red car stands out way better than a white car. The white car doesn't allow sports cars to show you the angles, the curves, the things that define them better. So the red makes that pop, but white cars, when they are clean, especially on the luxury side, there is nothing that looks better. So I'm a luxury guy.
Yes, you are.
So I would say white.
All right, white it is, guys. Show likes white cars, and so we're going to wrap it up. I want to thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
I want you to enjoy this, even though this is your least
least favorite auto show, but we are at the auto show.
We are here.
And we are having fun.
We are.
So I'm going to give you a couple quick more looks at the auto show, show you some supercars. Thank Chi-Town Exotic Car Group for allowing us to use these cars to do this shoot and show you what they had on display.
Yes.
But, as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will see you in these streets. Today was an amazing day, and there is still more to come. But as always, ICNV Driversedition. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the ICNV Driversedition community, This is an interactive community. That means if you hit me up on any one of my social media platforms, I will do my best to respond and possibly make a video about the topic you bring up. But as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will see you in these streets.